Hey guys, it's Sydney at Treadmill Review Guru. You've been asking, and it's here, the Bowflex Treadmill 22. In this review, I'm going to go over everything that you need to know and let you see and hear it in action. So let's get into it. Let's dive into the construction. So this is a pretty big treadmill. It's 85 inches long, 39.6 inches wide, and 70 inches high. So even though it does take up a good amount of floor space, it does fold up, and the folding mechanism is actually pretty impressive. Something that is interesting about it, and it says this in the manual, the deck needs to be declined to the full -5% in order for the deck to fold up to be more compact. We notice that we can fold it up, and I think it's out of habit for us. When the deck is at a 0% grade, it just doesn't fold up quite as compact and kind of nice and tidy. So we definitely recommend, and Bowflex also recommends, to decline that deck before you fold it up. The rollers are not underneath the motor hood, so there's actually kind of two separate pieces here. So there's a little bit of a gap between the deck and the motor, and this kind of, I think, allows the deck to be able to fold up as compact as it does. Although what's different about the Treadmill 22 is that the deck has a hydraulic assist, so you get assistance when you're lifting up the deck and when you're lowering it. There's a red handle to unlock the deck to be able to lift and lower it. And this is just a safe design that we like, and we see that on a lot of treadmills, like treadmills from Nordic Trek that fold up and from Soul. The Bowflex is pretty heavy. It's 336 pounds. When we're on it, it kind of feels like a tank to use. I know I was kind of saying it to myself, and then one of our reviewers came up to me and he's like, it feels like a tank, and it's definitely solid and sturdy. I think a large part of that is due to the frame. It has a steel frame, which is pretty standard on a lot of treadmills. However, this design is a little bit different than what we've seen on other models, especially with the uprights. So the uprights kind of break into two pieces that make this triangular shape, and then it connects down to the frame at the floor. So it does make a triangle, and triangles are said to be the strongest shape. So I do think that there was a lot of innovation, and Bowflex did a great job with designing this. It definitely makes like the console, the screen, super sturdy. We didn't experience any of that screen wobble. Plus, there's an additional steel bar underneath the storage tray under here that connects in between the uprights, and that design we really like. It just helps bring even more stability to the machine. So overall, we really like this and really like the design. The handles are plenty sufficient. The side handles kind of have this nice like grooved texture. They're not super long, but they offer plenty balance assistance when you need them. Plus you have extra handles up here. The upper handles here definitely come in handy when you have that deck fully inclined, which I will talk about in a moment. But moving on to the motor. So the motor is said to be 4 horsepower. Bowflex doesn't mention this on their website, but we did some research. We also compared the Bowflex next to treadmills that have 4 horsepower motors, like the Nordic Trek X22i and the Soul F85, and it performed really similarly. We feel like it is powerful enough to be able to handle heavy use. So if you want to train for a race, or if you have multiple users in your household, this motor really can handle everything that our reviewers put it through, so we're really impressed. It's also really quiet. It goes up to 12 miles per hour. Like typical treadmills, that noise increases a tiny bit as the speed increases. And with the incline, that deck will shift up to 20%, and then it declines to -5%. So you have a huge range to work with. That's where those handles, as I mentioned, come in handy to hang on to. And really, this is the highest level of incline that we've seen on a folding treadmill. Typically, like the Nordic Trek incline trainers, the X22i and X32i have the largest incline that we've seen. They go up to 40%, but those don't fold. So it's nice that you have high incline plus a folding option with the T22. With the incline and decline function, it really makes just a small amount of noise on top of the noise from the motor just when the belt is running just at a flat grade. So it's really quiet. I'm gonna let you listen to it in that functionality section. And the deck is large, you have plenty of room. It's 22 inches wide and 60 inches long. So really 60 inches long and 22 inches wide we found to kind of be the appropriate amount of space for users of pretty much any running stride, any height. We think it's definitely appropriate for walking, jogging, hiking, running, and sprinting. So most users, it handles users up to 400 pounds. So users up to that weight limit should get plenty of use out of this model. With the cushioning, I was a little bit surprised by it. I might have been expecting maybe more forgiving cushioning, just with the Incline trainers from Nordic Trek have really soft, forgiving cushioning, and Nordic Trek treadmills in general, so I don't know if I was expecting that. I also think I prefer that a little bit, just me personally. The cushioning is a little bit firm underfoot. Still provides that shock absorption that you don't get when you're running outside on concrete. However, if you have joint issues, it might not be the best option, but on the plus side, running on a firmer surface is really great if you're like preparing for a race that you're going to be running on concrete, because it's going to have a similar feel, but it's not going to give you that same type of impact because it does have shock absorption in the deck. So something to just keep in mind with that. I was just a little bit surprised with how firm it is. And also with the chrome accents, it makes the treadmill kind of have a futuristic look, I guess, in my opinion. And there are chrome plates on the side rails, which we've noticed they look really cool. However, we're kind of nervous that they may dent over time, especially if you're like doing interval training and you're running and then you hop on the side rails kind of in between those intervals. Or if you were to just hop on the side rails in general, you can maybe dent them over time. We're kind of worried about that. So just something to keep in mind there. However, the step up height on this treadmill is actually pretty slim. It's about 10 inches when it's at a flat grade like this, from when you measure the top of the side rail to the floor. So just kind of factor that in with your ceiling height and also when it's inclined. But overall, this is a really hardy treadmill, and Bowflex covers it with a 15-year warranty for the frame and motor, a 5-year warranty for mechanical parts, a 2-year warranty for labor, and a 1-year warranty for electronics. All right guys, let's check out the console on the Bowflex Treadmill 22. So it has a 22-inch touchscreen. It's pretty large, and it doesn't have much adjustability, unfortunately. It just kind of tilts up and down so you can avoid overhead glare. The screen is positioned pretty high up on the console, which we really like, so you kind of don't have to look down quite as much as you do on some other treadmills that have touch screens. And with that tilting option, our taller reviewers especially really like that they can angle it up so they don't have to look down quite as much. And for me, it's kind of almost at eye length. I'm just about 5'1". So really like the positioning. But as for the console, it kind of reminds me of like a control panel for a spaceship. There's kind of a lot going on, even though there's not a huge amount of the quick touch adjustment buttons. These guys right here, we wish that there were a few more. So as you can see, the right side is the speed and the left side controls the incline and decline. And with these, it kind of goes up to 1 through 5, but then it kind of skips 6 miles per hour, 8 miles per hour, 10, 11 miles per hour, and then same, it skips a few levels for the incline and decline over on this side. So we just kind of wish that there were a bit more of these buttons just to make like interval training just a little bit more seamless. So these handles are nice. I find I use them the most, in addition to these quick touch buttons, just to get to like, 2.5 miles per hour or, a specific incline over here. So these ones are nice because they're right there and easy for me to grab. I do like these switch buttons, but they're kind of a little sticky. So just know that sometimes when I press it, I find I have to press it twice in order to get the treadmill to adjust, but they're nice to have additional buttons here and here. And there are pulse grips. So these are pulse grips, so when you're hanging onto it, it will read your heart rate. However, the Bowflex does come with a heart rate monitor armband. So this will then show your heart rate continually on the screen, and we recommend wearing this, especially because it's included, so why not? But we recommend wearing this just for more accurate heart rate training. Typically pulse grips aren't super accurate and they only will read your pulse when you're hanging onto them. So we really like that and appreciate that the armband is included with the purchase of the T22. Also, you have a good amount of storage on the console. So this is textured and this kind of serves as a device rack. So you can put your phone here, you could put maybe a smaller tablet. I can also fit my phone in these pockets here, or keys or something like that. I don't think a tablet would quite fit in this, but my iPhone fits just fine. You can also use this if you want to watch something or connect the treadmill to Zwift, because it has Bluetooth capabilities to be able to connect to that. So you have that option here. Also, you have large cup holders. These are pretty massive for your water bottle. I know I could fit my Stanley cup in there just fine. There's also technically cup holders built in to the device tray. So you have ones down here, but this is just kind of a tray down here that you can use for kind of putting whatever item that you may need nearby when you're using the treadmill. So a lot of options, kind of a lot going on. However, it's easy to use, and we found that it definitely works really great. I also forgot to mention, so this fan, this is actually a fan. It is a tiny but mighty fan, I will say. It's pretty powerful. I wasn't really expecting much. I looked at it and I was like, wow, it's really small. But the airflow is pretty nice. It's actually really effective, and it's small, but it kind of stays out of the way, but yet provides a nice amount of airflow when you need it. So when you purchase the Bowflex Treadmill 22, it comes with a subscription to JRNY that's free for the first year. JRNY kind of has a lot to offer, and also just want to mention before I forget, we do have a full review of JRNY at treadmillreviewguru.com, so make sure you check out that if you're interested in more details. They have a full review there, but I'm just going to give you a little overview. So JRNY has different types of workouts. So these are the adaptive workouts. They have pre-selected formats for you to follow along with, where they'll want you to increase your intensity by increasing the speed or increasing the incline, and that's kind of set, and they're all with certain, they have certain kind of themes to each of them. Like this one has uphill, speed, different focuses. Typically when you start, you have the option to do an assessment. It's going to test your fitness level and assess it. And then when you are taking one of the classes, you'll see a burn rate at the bottom, and it highlights certain intensities because it wants you to kind of be at a certain intensity when you're working out. So, and then as you progress, you can take the fitness assessment again, and also that burn rate will kind of shift as your fitness progresses over time. So these workouts with that burn rate are then tailored to you, so they're kind of more customizable to work for you and your fitness level. So these are fun. And then you also have outdoor filmed workouts, the Explore the World, and these are being added to all the time, as are the adaptive workouts. So these are filmed in all sorts of different locations around the world. Like you have New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, Spain, Austria, then places like Detroit, Michigan. They also film in some of the national parks like Zion. We've noticed that this aren't quite to the level of, like, say iFit, which has trainer-led classes that take you through, and the graphics aren't quite to that level, but these are nice to be able to do your own thing and kind of explore. And you can also, take them with an adaptive class, so have a little bit more structured, or you can do it as like a manual mode and do your own thing. There are also trainer-led classes. They're on demand, so they're pre-filmed for you to take whenever. And you can also take mat classes to kind of do, yoga and strength training. And I won't say that these aren't quite to the level of, say, like Peloton, but considering that, you get a pretty wide variety of content to choose from with JRNY, we do appreciate that. And actually my favorite part is if I were to go in, I could do this in manual mode, or if I go into an adaptive workout, I have options to stream music. So there's different stations. These all have pre-selected playlists to choose from, and the music just plays in the background. I can listen to this while I'm taking the trainer-led classes or one of the Explore the World classes. But my favorite aspect is that you can stream from these guys up here. So HBO, Netflix, Hulu, Prime. All you need to do is just log into your respective accounts. So I've been using Hulu, I've been watching a show on there, so I have been using that, and it's just fun to be able to use this, kind of like you're your TV. We get a lot of questions about, hey, can I watch Netflix on this? So you can watch from those apps. That's included with JRNY. Big question that we get is, okay, that's great with JRNY. What if you don't want to use JRNY? Can you still use the T22? Yes, you can. JRNY is not required to use the Bowflex. I just want to say that, but since it comes free for the first year, it's definitely worth it to check it out, and we think that we really appreciate all of the different options it has to offer. All right, now I'm going to let you see and hear the Bowflex Treadmill 22 when I'm running on it. But first, if you like this video and find it helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great content coming for you. We also have some comparisons with the Bowflex coming, so make sure you're subscribed. And also, I forgot to mention, with this treadmill, with how heavy it is kind of hard to move. I know I struggle and kind of can just barely move it when it's folded. I normally have to recruit Matt to come in and move it for us, so just keep that in mind. We kind of recommend a designated space when you're using it. But right now I'm just at a flat grade, so 0% grade. I'm going to walk, jog, and run on it. So let's get it going. So I'm starting at 3 miles per hour. Here is 6 miles per hour. And here's 9 miles per hour. All right, now I'm just at a casual walking pace. I'm going to let you listen to the incline and decline function. As I mentioned, it's pretty quiet. So I'm going to decline it to the full -5%. So it's fully declined. I know sometimes when I'm on it, I have to kind of look to see if it's actually declining or inclining because it is that quiet. Also, you'll notice that separation between the deck and the motor, as I talked about earlier, it's a little bit more visible when it's inclining and declining. So now let's go up to the full 20%. So now it's fully inclined. That's where these handles really come in handy. But as you can see, overall, the Bowflex is pretty quiet. Now our tallest reviewer, Matt, is going to hop on the Bowflex. He is 6'5", and here he is at 3 miles per hour. Six miles per hour. And 9 miles per hour. Thanks for watching our review of the Bowflex Treadmill 22. Some things that we really like is that it has a large 22-inch touchscreen that's enabled with JRNY, and JRNY comes free for the first year, and it offers a good amount of content to choose from. There's trainer-led classes, there's outdoor filmed workouts, plus you can stream from apps like Netflix. And overall, this treadmill is really quiet. It goes up to 12 miles per hour, and the deck inclines up to 20% and declines to -5%, so it definitely provides a challenging workout. And even though this is a large treadmill, that deck folds up to save you a lot of space when you're not using it. And it weighs 336 pounds, so it's built like a tank, and it handles users up to 400 pounds. Plus, for more accurate heart rate tracking, it comes with a heart rate tracking armband, so you have options for heart rate training. Some things to keep in mind is that the deck cushioning is pretty firm underfoot, so it might not be best if you have joint issues. And we wish that there were a few more adjustment buttons, especially those quick touch buttons on the console, just for more seamless adjusting and transitions, especially if you're doing interval training. But overall, this is a really hardy treadmill that can handle a lot of use. So if you want to run a marathon on it, train for a race, or have multiple users in your household that want to use a treadmill, this is a really great option. If you want to learn more about the Bowflex Treadmill 22, head to treadmillreviewguru.com. There's a full written review there with even more details. And you could check the link in the description for the current price. And if you check out the Bowflex through that link and purchase through that link, that helps our channel out so we can create more review videos like this for you. And if you like this video and find it helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great reviews coming your way and some comparisons with the Bowflex Treadmill 22, so make sure you're subscribed. I'm Sydney with Treadmill Review Guru. I'll see you next time.